turn it up a little bit. I like to play some I think you all know. Kind of laid back tip, you know.
Welcome back, friends, viewers. It's James Comm, your half-assed reporter, the guy on the bike. Coming back for our, I think we're beginning our 17th year, finished 16. Special shout out to our viewers in Africa. From Marrakesh to Niger, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. We're gonna run in here to Gagosian. We're gonna try to get some pictures of the John Currin Memorial Exhibition. Stay tuned. Okay. Well, I put the mask on and we'll come in and do our initial sweep. One of the things I wanted to note is that this show is in the old Mary Boone Gallery, and Gagosian is next door. But I believe this is maybe the first show that they've had here as the Gagosian Gallery, and as we all know, Mary was convicted and went up the river for tax evasion. Okay, one of the other things is that I came in Tuesday. They were having an opening, and I pedaled all the way in from Red Hook. And when I got here, I found out that this was a private event. And so, even though you're a YouTuber and you've gotten a video of John Currin with over 1,300,000 hits, they're not going to let you in if you're not on the guest list. Okay, this piece is titled Mantis. And this is oil and canvas, 74 by 39 inches. Well, as I was saying, I actually think I snuck in undercover and did a video of one of John's shows maybe 9 years ago. And strangely, about a year ago, I started to see some new responses and things, and I clicked over and was looking at it on my YouTube page and noticed that it was starting to get a lot of hits. And I kept watching it for about a month, and it went from something like 300,000 to 1,000,003. So I was happy. This is titled Pimp 2021 oil on canvas 54 by 36 inches. Okay, I haven't read the press release and I haven't read the article in the Brook and Rail. I think Fong Bui is interviewing John. So I'm just going to be kind of interpreting this on my own. One of the things that we're talking about is that some of this work is verging or has verged on the edge of pornography, whatever that means. And there was one of the Supreme Court justices back in the 50s or 60s, they were arguing a case about pornography, and he said something like, I might not be able to define pornography, but I can tell what it is when I see it. And I think the problem with work like this is that if it's fine art, or just art in general, where do you draw the line? You could actually say that maybe some of the oldest works of art known to man are pornographic. You look at the fertility goddesses, the Venus of Willendorf and some of the other ones, and they're certainly, and I'm noticing the kind of exuberant exaggerations here. Certainly they kind of represent a primordial fecundity. I think also John is kind of an interesting painter in that, gosh, when I first started seeing his work, I think he had a very early show at the Whitney 15, 18 years ago, and his style was still figurative, but it was kind of cartoony and goofy. And he's really, I think, made it his practice to try to capture some of the tightly rendered, exquisitely modeled forms of the old masters. And I'm looking at this and thinking of some of the mannerists. Okay, this is the namesake of the show. This is Memorial 2020 oil on canvas 62 by 40. You know, one of the things that I also like about John is that I think when you start to get as popular as he is, it's very common for artists to sort of set up a factory and start cranking the product out as fast as possible. But this is actually a very intimate show. And well, some people say I've got a fetish for the hand of the artist, but I like it when an artist has a great interest in the craft and the tradition of the painting. I was thinking, we're talking about pornography and images of women and those kinds of things. It's interesting that he's done this all in the grisaille, so that they kind of look like maybe sculptures, and these it's actually painted the frames on them, so those could be in some type of architectural nook or something. It's maybe if you had a Kama Sutra, something from Angkor Wat that has been transposed into something on a Gothic cathedral, maybe. Okay, this piece is a little larger and has got some color in it. Titled Climber. There's another larger piece. I'm looking at his little plaques he's got with his initials and the dates on there. I was just up at the Clark Museum in Massachusetts, and they had a great exhibition of Albert Dürer etchings, and that was one of the things that Albert Dürer always had, was his little nameplate on the etchings. And we've got our little, is it sunset, sunrise? I don't know. Well, I was talking about mannerism, and one of the characteristics of what supposedly is what people like Wolfen and some of the other Austrian art historian schools would be saying, that the Mannerists kind of distorted the forms. They kind of twisted, stretched, inflated, deflated certain forms purely for formal reasons, to kind of give you an abstract boost to the compositions. I was also going to say that one of the things that John has always been known for is his rather, what could I say, ample representations of ladies' breasts. Caryatid. It's oil on canvas, 50 by 34, 2021. Well, I like the way that John is kind of breaking from his mold. I will draw your attention to kind of the weird way that this torso is distorted. The shoulders are kind of too high. The way the hip is uplifted like that. And of course, okay, so she's basically showing herself about as voluptuously as you can, but she still has the halo. And I wonder if that's some reference to some kind of saintly, profane goddess. I was going to say that some of them actually remind me of his wife. There's Rachel Feinstein, who is also a beautiful woman, but yeah, I don't think she's quite of the same proportions as this. I'll get up a little closer and look at some of the detail work. Also, I'm thinking that he keeps his surfaces pretty dry, and because I know a lot of people that try to work like this and it ends up getting very glossy and slick, almost a academic surface, and by that I mean kind of imitating the paintings of the French Academy, the British academies in the late 1800s, which were known for their what they called the licked surface. People like Bouguereau. Also, I think I like the blue shadows, but the way this hand is kind of melting, it's kind of soft joints, things are twisting the wrong way, and also the way that he pinches the feet. This is titled Sunflower. Well, yes. Well, I was talking about mannerism and the way that they would kind of distort the forms. This one also looks a little bit like Rachel. They would distort the forms, exaggerate certain things, shrink other things down. This is very apparent here when you see the size of this very ample breast, but then the leg in proportion is about the same size, and then as the leg goes down, it tapers down to the ankles. And so I was thinking about this in relationship to the was it Japanese custom of foot binding. Somehow that was found to be erotic. The tiny little feet, almost like hoofs. And I'm wondering about how this is being accepted by the Me Too generation. And you've got people like the late Linda Nochlin, who wrote about feminism in art, and gosh, I forget the lady who wrote about the male gaze as far as movies go. And in a certain way, this gets to the kind of male gaze pushed to the grotesque. Although I'm sure that probably all of these pieces are so, and that is a wonderful piece of still life painting. I actually like the way that that's kind of finished off, and the rest of this is kind of brushy. Also looks like Rachel. I'll never be able to think of her the same way again, I guess. James Kahn reporting on John Currin Memorial here at the Gagosian Gallery. You can like this, share, post it on all your social media sites, and you can subscribe. You can leave your comments, criticisms, reviews, suggestions below. And we just ask you to say, thank you, Kate. Whoa, thank you. That was beautiful.